Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching the Rainbow Activation Code. It's all about Kundalini energy, becoming your best self, learning more about your awakening, what those symptoms and feelings are, what your superhuman powers are, what they are in general, and how to access them. It's about DNA upgrades, extraterrestrials. We've been on such a journey, right? I mean, from hybrid children to a high vibrational diet to channelers and intuitive art and channeled artwork. Who else have we had? Oh my gosh, it's just been like it's such a roller coaster of a journey, and I'm so grateful that you all have been a part of this with me. I have honestly, through this process, learned so much about myself, and I know you guys have watched me on this journey, discovering more and opening up more, and it's really helped me become more of who I am. And thank you for being a part of that journey. I hope that it inspires you to learn new things, try new things, even if it's just breathing more on a daily basis, or attempting meditation, or maybe choosing to drink out of a glass water bottle instead of a plastic, or just thinking more kind, loving thoughts to yourself. To me, the Rainbow Activation Code is so much more than I thought it was and think it is, and it is still expanding for me, and I'm going to be sharing more and more over the next few weeks and months as I dive more into the research of this. And my goal is to be able to communicate it in a way that you'll all be able to digest and understand in a more concise way. That's my goal. Let's see. The other thing is that I'm going to present to you the next video, which is an interview that you saw, kind of like the continuation of the one with Taylor Epstein with Karuna Care. And she's a friend that I've grown up with and has been a definite soul sister, angel sister of mine throughout my whole life. And so we've reconnected over the years, and now our lives are aligning again. And so I had the opportunity to interview her. And a few days ago, you watched that, and now today you'll be able to watch her interviewing me. And I'll go into more detail about what I do and what my experience is with all this stuff. Also, I want to just announce that I am loving making these videos so much and doing this research on the Rainbow Activation Code that I'm going to continue the videos regularly. So if you're liking being a part of this and you're loving getting the emails with the videos in your email box, you'll continue to get that access by being a part of that community and by being on that email list. So it's still going to be alive after today, the 14th. So I hope that if you are liking it, you'll stay a part of it, and you'll become part of this growing community that we'll be sharing. And if you like it and you know someone that would like it, it will always help so much if you can invite them, send them the link so that they can become a part of it too and get the awesome emails of these videos directly sent to their inbox too. It just makes it a little bit easier to find the content and to learn it and digest it, you know, when you're just like, sometimes I just push play on my in my car on YouTube, or I open up my email and I just push play for the audio if I'm driving or walking or running. And yeah, you can take it all in whenever is convenient for you, which I love about this platform of releasing content. So yes, if you're liking anything, want to learn more about anything specific, please send me a message or a comment below in the YouTube feed. And you can also just send me a direct email to justineserebrin@gmail.com. I love you all so much. I'm filled with so much gratitude and so much it's just like expanding love for you guys, for helping be a part of this. I mean, it's just a miracle, honestly, to me, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sending you so much love. Enjoy this video and connect with me more. Okay. Mwah.
Okay, so we have Justine Serebrin here, and she is an absolute delight. Everyone that meets her just instantaneously feels better and, I mean, inspired. She is like the most magical manifester that you'll come across, and her work is such, it's proof. And so my first question is, like, I've got very clear insight to when I started to understand and know that that there was something bigger than me. And I was about 5 years old when I started to actually talk with God, Spirit, Source. And it's not because I was religious strictly. I come from a multitude of different backgrounds. I mean, I've got a Jewish grandfather, Catholic grandmother, and I was raised in a Buddhist country. So there's like a lot there. But for you, when did you understand that? Like, when does your first memory of, wow, like I'm connected to something that's bigger than me? And when did you start putting energy into that and receiving energy back from it?
Mm-hmm. Well, going way back, I did not grow up with religion.
Mm-hmm.
My mom liked the idea of God,
mm-hmm.
but we didn't practice anything. I didn't go to church unless my friends were, and I was invited to go with them to explore. So my dad
Free donuts and coffee.
I don't remember that part.
Oh, I do.
I remember sitting in Sunday school, or the first part was like the whole group together, and then we'd break off and the kids would go into this room. I didn't like any of it. I'm really full of anxiety and stress. I felt really closed in when I had to do that kind of stuff.
And you're about how old?
Very little, maybe 4, 5, 6 years old. In those years. My dad grew up Jewish, and then left that religion and was more of a seeker in some ways. He was interested a little bit in Buddhism, but really no religion, no God, nothing. It was like I was very much encouraged to go out there, try everything on, see what felt right, and kind of like do whatever you want in that area.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and so I've felt like a seeker since I was a little kid. And I didn't feel like I really kind of liked anything I was learning. I went to a Christian camp, and I had a lot of like kind of traumatic experiences and experienced a lot of judgment, fear, infusions, and negativity, and I was crazy sensitive to that stuff. And I'm like, this God stuff, like this doesn't feel right. Why?
And how old were you there? I didn't know that you went to a Christian camp.
Yeah, I was 10.
Oh wow! And that was in California?
I think you were in Thailand by then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I also have these memories of being a very little kid, maybe 4 or 5 years old, falling asleep, and I could feel, and I've had this sensation come back as an adult, and so I feel into it to try to realize what it was, because as a kid it was terrifying. And I felt what it was I'd lay there and I could feel the heaviness of my body on top of me. And I could feel that there was like, when I felt like I was kind of being like, I was trapped in this body, and things felt like they were falling in on me.
Mm.
So I felt that there was something else beyond me that, or in me, that was also beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking teachers from a very young age and I wasn't able to articulate it. Like, I didn't have the language
Right.
to really describe it, and until third grade. And I remember articulating in a way where I finally got a little bit of an answer. And I asked these, not the real teacher, but we had these like, okay, it was kind of like the nerdier guy's dad, who was really into Star Trek. Like, he would wear Star Trek costumes like to school, and like
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, like he would wear. So I'm like, he must know something about the stars. He must know something about science or something beyond. So I asked him, like, raise my hand.
Yeah.
Teaching something about self-esteem.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I know this is really off topic, but what? And I articulated it by drawing on a piece of paper. So here's my 8x10 paper. And I'm like, okay, so here's me, here's the Earth, and here's all the solar system, and this is everything that we know. But outside of the paper, what's out there? What's around there? Tell me where it is. Like, I know there's something else. And he said, well, we just don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
yet.
Damn it. And I think that around 8, 9 years old, that's when I was really like trying to get the words out. Like, what is beyond us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still doing that.
Yeah.
And all that really connects to what this whole Rainbow Activation Code research project really is. Finding those answers.
Okay. So this might be a difficult question to answer, but it's just so organic coming off of this topic. What is, as far as you know, you're almost 33 years, what is beyond us? And how do you know that there is something beyond us? Like, what have you seen, felt, hear? How do you communicate to what you know that is beyond us? Because it is a knowing for some people. For some people, it is absolutely not, and that's okay. Totally. But for others, like you and I, there is this strong, deeply rooted belief that there's something else. So now, as a 32, almost 33-year-old, what is that?
Yeah, well, I think I'm still figuring that out for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm part of, what the whole project is I've had all these questions for so long. Mm-hmm. I'm finally able to ask all these experts and get some outside ideas and learn some different concepts. But when I go inward, I meditate, I sound crazy.
No, this is what we're talking about. Like, this is what you know. Yeah. This is your power. This is what you know. So what is it? I can't wait.
So I feel that who I'm talking to or what I'm channeling and the voices that I hear, it's not really voices. It's more like, when you hear yourself thinking, but it's more of a, it's not the conscious talk that's in your brain. It's a deeper sense. So it feels like that is my higher self communicating to me. What I'm feeling now from all the meditation work and visions that come to me is that I am source energy. My soul exists beyond time and space and this density reality. I am connected to the stars. So I feel like my spirit, and I go upward because it feels very much like a higher frequency. It's like a dream essence of myself. And that is what I feel like a soul is. And so part of that exists inside of this structure you're seeing right now. And then what you're seeing now is directly made up of the earth. And And so it's this union, and I feel like I've come here, like my spirit came down in this form by choice for a reason. And I feel like all of it is by choice and for a reason, to create something in tangible form. And so in my around 18 years old, I kind of had like my little existential crisis, like what is the whole point of this, being in this form? And what my answer is now, looking back, is to create, is to be like this isn't a God, like I am God in a way. I am a being here, human being here, to intangible 3D form, to create 3D. So what do I want to create? I am free, I am sovereign, I'm here not just as an artist, but to be the deliberate life designer of my reality, you know?
Yeah. And you did just that. So to my next question, from what I understand, Justine was owning a small, well, I saw it. Justine was owning a very small tattoo space in Burbank, right? Burbank, California? Tattoo spa?
Yeah.
And then the space was just too confined and small for you. So she drew out what she wanted the next space to look like. And it had a beautiful outdoor area and a small stage for music and maybe yoga and meditation. And there's indoor, outdoor, and it was much larger, and there was more people and more space to literally create on so many different levels from different people. And so she drew this out, and that's exactly what she got. And there's the most amazing Earth Altar studio, which is brick and mortar, and it's there, but it also serves not just as tattoo, but wellness. And then people come for Reiki and especially like fun events like open mic nights. I mean, there's no ending to what you allow to go in and out of that door as far as creation goes. And it's so honorable, and it gives people that space to be held for themselves, to grow on different levels. And it's so awesome. But one of my favorite stories is, first off, how did you come into tattooing? Can you please go into depth about that meditation?
Yeah. So this is first of all, thanks for saying all of that. It means a lot.
Sorry, that was supposed to be a question.
I know. So what happened was, after art school, I created, maybe even in art school, I created a body painting business. So I was doing face and body painting for different events. I've been doing that since I was a little entrepreneur at 6 years old.
Yeah.
Parties, making money. So that adorning body painting, that has been a part of me for so long. And it feels like it's definitely part of my mission here, is celebrating. Anyway, so it had popped in my head, I was always drawing with pen on my friends, and they were starting to get the designs tattooed on them. So it was a conscious idea to go into tattooing, right? But I didn't know anything about it, the industry or anything. I wasn't particularly attracted to that industry or that the culture around it. And this was I think I was about 20, maybe 21 years old. Okay, wait. So I started, this goes back to the question you first asked, my spirituality. I developed a direct connection to my higher self, or a higher source, when I was in a 12-step program learning about the disease of alcoholism, Al-Anon, right? So I was in that, and I was trying to connect with this, and so that was the first time I was in the shower, and all this steam filled up the room, and I felt something bigger is with me right now. It was really intense. And so that was the direct connection, then my first connection with like something of a higher power to myself. So from that, I began to, I think, meditate more. And I found this this guided meditation on my iPod or something, or I downloaded it from the internet, and I would listen to it before I go to sleep. And the first half of it was the guided part, and then the second part was just the music from the guided part. And all of a sudden, in that ambient music state, I got this really, really clear vision. First was of, okay, and my background is not religious, but Jesus's face shows up. And it's like, I talked about in one of my other videos, like his face shows up here. And it was like, I was like trying to get my face to match up with his. And when I did, it's like, I'm trying to get in an alignment with Jesus Christ. You know? And then the next vision after that was like clear as day. I'm sitting on this beautiful light wood floor, cross-legged, looking through these floor-to-ceiling windows, looking out over this beautiful ocean. And the sun is starting to set, and there's a woman sitting in front of me, and she's on the floor too, and it's like very minimal in the space. And I began. Very zen. It was, yeah. I was tattooing her back. And I didn't really know much about tattooing at that time, right? So I'm tattooing her back, and something about what I was doing was healing her or transforming her, helping her in some way.
Oh, I just got full body chills.
Really?
It's my favorite. I love this story.
I just actually found the journal entry from when I had that. And one part that I had forgotten was that in the dream, or the vision, was I was rubbing herbs into her tattoo after.
Wow.
And I haven't really felt back into that yet. I just sort of remembered that. Like, so maybe there's something about like, putting the herbs into it after we do it. I don't know. Not there yet, but almost like I've done this before, like in a past life, and I know this sacred process. So I'm trying, what I'm doing in my work now is like trying to kind of like unpack that and figure out what that new sacred symbology is. It's a new visual language, and it really isn't connected to any spirituality, no tribalism, like nothing. It is about really each person I'm working with bringing out their divine essence. Like, what is it that their soul, what symbol does their soul need to recognize right now? I'm doing my best to show it to them and put it on them to like activate them or move energy or, all that.
So magic. You are so magic. So, I mean, just this alone, and you're taking a whole shift. I mean, you are giving people power in that way, and then leaving them with their own unique mark that speaks to who they are in that time frame. Yes, it may change, it may not, but it may grow them. No, I mean, inevitably it will grow them, towards their higher self or something. But what you are doing is absolutely brilliant with the card readings. I mean, from what I understand is you sit one-on-one with clients and you lay out their cards and you give them a full reading, and then the both of you together discuss where they are at, where they want to go, where they have been, and create a design that embodies all of that or none of that, but something that speaks truly to who they are. And no one else is doing this. And you are literally shifting the stigma of tattooing. I mean, there's so much about that tattoo culture that has been known to be angry, gang related, this, that, and the other, but you're instead bringing it out as a healing technique and using this like very unique approach. And it's so beautiful. And any words on that at all?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, there are some people doing it in their own way that I have found, like over the last year or two. I just went to, I mean, we're all doing it in different ways.
Right.
But they're like young girls like us, which is so weird. But like, I just went to this conference and I met a girl who's doing intuitive tattooing in Washington.
Wow.
And she's doing them all stick and poke. And I do half of the tattoo stick and poke. And then I found a girl in, I think, New York, who's doing it in her own way too. And she's calling it like intuitive or magic tattooing. I mean, that is the goal, the dream, ultimate dream is like that everyone like starts lighting up and starts like this energetic movement of activation. I can't do it all,
Right.
Like I can't tattoo everyone who wants this. So whoever is feeling like lit up about this and feeling called to, I think that's so important about the work you're doing, is you're helping people get into alignment with like what their true calling is, and moving the crap out. Like, we're uncovering, getting this crap away, clearing the karma, moving out, creating space so we can finally see the clear path of what it is we came here to do. When you're living that life and you're stepping into that power and you're following your passion, you can't help but be living your purpose. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, no, you can't help but be who you are. And that's the goal, is to step into who you are. You're not Sammy Joe, you're not Bobby Lee. You are who you are, and honor that. I mean, it's an honor to have a human body. So how are you going to respect it? It will respect you back. How are you going to use it for your highest level of creation? And I mean, that doesn't mean like you have to own a tattoo studio and do all the amazing things you're doing. It can be as a mother, it can be as a father, it can be as, I mean, there's no limit to what creating is.
Yeah.
So stepping into that knowingness and being okay with it. So, and the forms that it will take, but first and foremost, stepping in and unlayering. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, to me, this didn't exist. And so I really feel like every day I'm recreating. I'm starting like, okay, what are we creating today? We've never done this before in the studio. We've never all been at this place and stage before. We're trying to like redesign a way that flows and works. And I want to start doing retreats, and like, I've never done that before, but what does that look like? And how do we step into that action? And one of my coaches says action brings clarity, and that's been like huge for me. Like, you can't, like, my vision is just a vision, but it can stay a vision, or I can hold on to that and perfect it in my brain, but that's not part of being a human. We have to put it into reality. We have to like bring it out and manifest it. And manifesting really just means taking action on the vision and bringing it to real life.
Yep. And then the support along the way that lifts you up is just magical. Just takes one step.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for you, what's next in your vision? This will be my last question, I think.
Okay.
What's next?
Well, I think it's the retreats. I want to get us out into nature. I want to be doing these tattoos in nature. I want to focus on activating creativity in more people. I want to work with you to bring body movement into this. And I want to kind of like bring the full sensory experience to just the little part. I mean, what I do is just the little teeny part of the puzzle, the tattooing, but there's so many more aspects. It's like tattooing is like the yellow ray of the rainbow, that you know? And so I want people to feel like they are like fully stepping into this experience or immersing themselves in an experience that opens us up to feeling radiant and expansive and powerful, and like we're really honoring, like you said, this amazing opportunity it is to be a human.
Yes. And I love it. I absolutely love, I mean, the retreat thing, I mean, there's nothing new about them, but the fact that you're such a creator, there will be so much newness. And the thing about retreats is they literally change lives, like for the better. Yeah, some they won't, to people that aren't ready. But if you step in with no expectations, I mean, this goes for beyond retreats, like it's life changing. So that is so awesome to hear. I cannot wait to go on one with you, create one with you, all of the above, go to yours. So
Thank
so
you.
cool.
Thank
yeah.
you. There's one thing I just realized that we didn't get to talk about.
There's probably so much.
I know, but I really feel like it's important that you talk about it, especially because I think it connects with all of what we're talking about now, is the idea of the soul prescriptions.
Oh, spiritual prescription.
Yeah. How did that come through? And that's recent. And so I think it's like a pretty exciting new thing for you. So can you?
It's so fun, and you had so much to do with it. So I am it was probably, I talked about this earlier on, when I was in my early 20s. It was really tough for me. I was very self-sabotaging in many ways. And I was very stuck in many ways. And one day I was laying on my parents' bed. I was visiting them from college, and I was laying there literally feeling stuck and heavy and unworthy and unbeautiful, not just externally, but inside, sad. And this voice came to me, and it said, you need to start speaking to yourself kindly. It was like my whole body was telling me, start telling me I'm beautiful. And I don't mean just externally, like internally, start telling me that I'm beautiful. And that started a huge shift. Like I listened to that voice, and I mean, it was not an overnight thing. It took active work, but I started doing things that I wasn't until years later that I learned about Louise L. Hay and how you can heal your own body. And I mean, she is such a huge spiritual teacher to me. And I started doing mirror work, much like, I mean, she wrote whole books on mirror work and looking at yourself, and first and foremost, telling yourself that you love yourself. It sounds so cheesy, but there's so much validation to be held here. Like you are who you are, who you are. And what parts of yourself do you need to begin to love to begin that unlayering? And for a lot of people, especially my clients, I have them tell themselves that they're worthy, and it's so uncomfortable for them. They don't even want to say it out loud, just to me. So the spiritual prescription thing goes back to basically affirmations and how, you know, certain ailments relate to particular parts of your body, certain illnesses, diseases, and then creating these affirmations, or you came up with the term spiritual prescriptions, which is speaks so highly to me, because that's what I'm doing. I'm a registered nurse, yet I'm so deeply rooted in my spirituality, and it's the most beautiful term. But what solidified that term to me was that night that you said that, I had a dream that I was speaking to this young Indian man, and he was doing tapping, which I do also. And I said, no, you also need to move your body, and you need to connect with your guides. And as soon as I said, connect with your guides, I went through this whole vortex. I mean, my whole body went into this vortex. And then in my dream, I then shot up, and I was in outer space wearing this gown, and I was floating back and forth singing this spiritual prescription to him. And I was so enamored with the fact that I could sing. I couldn't hear what I was saying, but I know what I was doing. And I mean, I have these very intuitive, psychic, astral projected dreams. And that was it for me. It was like, okay, every time I meet with a client now, especially those doing my 28-day program, you will learn your distinct spiritual prescription and what that means for you and how important speaking those words to you is, especially in creating that 12% of your brain that needs to create new wiring to have healthier thought patterns. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't remember coming up with the term, but
I'm pretty sure you did. I felt like it was in conversation.
so cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Taylor.
Thank you, my infinite sister. You are.
And
I love you too.
I love you watching all of the rainbow activities.
Yay. Oh, it's such a magical thing. Yeah.
Thank you all so much. It's been quite a journey.
It's been an amazing series. Yeah. Thank you, Justine, from the bottom of my heart. You're my true sister.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm excited for what we're going to manifest and what everyone watching is going to manifest. And
yes.
Keep us posted.
Yes.
Write us emails if you have ideas or questions about anything or more topics that you'd want us to talk about. I think Taylor and I will probably be doing some more videos together. So yeah, let us know.
Yes.
And remember, connect back to Taylor at Karuna Care. We're going to have links to her too, so you can connect with her directly. And if you know anyone who would resonate or enjoy this series or this episode, please share, subscribe, like, and join our community.
Yay!
Thank you.
Amazing work, Justine. Thank you so much.
You too, Taylor. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Love you. Bye.